Hello all, I'm Devdutt Panda. Welcome to my channel. So in this video, part of our CKAD practice exam series, we'll see a question on security context. So basically in CKAD exam, they try to see that the knowledge on the security context so that when you execute a pod or a container, so it has the right security context attached to it to make sure that you don't give a lot of privileges in terms of executing the container. So part of this exam, practice exam, we'll see that we'll run a container and we'll configure to run with the user ID 1000, and also we'll add a Linux capability to the container. So in my recent exam, when I passed my CKD, I see that they started asking to add the Linux capability. So I'll show it to you. But apart from that, like in your real exam, also you will face some more security context. Although I just given one, so the thing it can ask you like to add a group or like a file system group to be added. As I said, that the capabilities it might ask you to add it, like the Linux capabilities. For example, I've taken example of netbind services. There are other capabilities also it might ask to do that. It's also ask you sometime that to run the in the privilege mode, how to set the privilege mode for the container and the read-only root file system. So I we will see it in action now, like in a terminal. We'll execute our one of our deployment that what I've given in the. So we'll now like execute the solution for this in my terminal. So where we'll see that we have a existing deployment. It's called API server, and it's running in the production namespace. And we'll run set this the container with the settings of uh, the security context. Okay. So part of my the part one question where I need to set the user ID to 1000. Before that, let me just go and check the existing deployment. So the CKAD deployments. So I am just doing in the production namespace. So I can see that I just got one API server. So okay, before I go and start editing it for the questions security context, let me see that how to set the security context. So in the document, let me search for the security context. So we'll see that how we'll configure a security context for a pod or a container. In our case, in the question, if you remember, so we said that we will do it at the level of the container. So the security context can happen at a pod level or a container level. Okay, so be like in your exam, give right focus to that part of the things that where it is asking to set the context. So here, one example we can see that like provided. So you can see that the spec level at the top level it is given means so these are like run as user like 1000. So it's like at the pod level. So any container which is going to be executed at the pod in this pod, all are will be in this. But there also we can see at a container level also. For example, like here it is saying that allow privilege escalation to be false. So this only applicable to this container. So we can also set this run as user here. So for our part one question, let's just go and edit the thing. Okay, edit deployment. So in the production, okay. So, okay. So let me come to the part of where it is trying to do. So we'll do the container. So you can see that the security context is coming at this level. So let me just go to the container. Okay. And done. So let's, after the name, we'll try to put at the same level. Okay. So I'll put my security context. So my first thing, I try to run as user also. I've given the value as 1000. I'll type run as user to 1000. Okay. So with this setting, we have done the first part of the question. So where it asks to run as with the user ID 1000. Now let's see that how to add the capabilities. Okay. So let me see in this documentation. So where I got the capabilities. So yeah. So these Linux capabilities. Okay. Let me try to type it. Okay. Yes. So I'm just trying to see a section. So where it has added the capabilities. Okay. So we can see that if you see it within the container level, so to add a capabilities, so we need to put this command like capabilities. Okay. So I will go, let me go here. So capabilities, add it. So this is a area of capability. So I've just followed the same documentation. So the value it asks for me, net score point. Let me check my question. So I will add it here, net by service. Okay. So okay. So with that, we have seen that how to add the security context for a container at a container level, adding two part of the things. So one, I have added a user ID and a Linux capability. So as I say that in your real exam, try to see that what are the values is asking. Like let's say that like in the top you can see that the settings, for example, it's talking about like run as the user ID or the group under which is trying to do it. And if sometime it asks method like set the privilege to be false, or sometime it to true, or the file system, the root file system to be like to be true or false. So you need to see that and then update your values. So I hope this video might have given you to help you to practice for your real exam. In case you were practicing for your real exam, all the best, and do subscribe to me for the upcoming videos. Thank you.